Hi everyone, so let's talk about the C language. So this video is about the C data type in C99. So there are four different type of basic data type. So it's going to be int, float, and double, and char, right? So for the int, it's going to be contain what? Zero, positive, and negative value without decimal. So it's going to be the integer. And the float is could be a single precision. So it's still going to be a decimal, but it has limit range. And then double, it contain what? Double precision. And char only contain a single character. So what does single character mean? So if you go on Google and go on the ASCII table, so this represent the single character. So which is the space, which is the 0 to 9, right? From everything from 0 to 255, right? This should be all the single character. So this is going to be pretty much the definition for char. So let's talk about the memory. So what's the memory? Memory is that you have to use that for the variable. So for a short int, so again, these are the basics one, right? But you do have some special like variable you can use. But for the short is type of what? Type of data type for sure, because short int is the data type, right? And the range is between the negative 32,768, right, to positive, right? So the size of the variable is 2 bytes. And for the unsigned, short int is 0 to this number. And long, this also represent what signed short int, right? So it's this range. And definitely the size of the memory is depending on the variable. So for the single char, right, it's 1 byte, right? Because you only need what? A single character, so you don't have to need that much of a space, right? But if you have like long double, like you need a lot of space to store the value, it's going to be 16 bytes. So this question, I mean, I already explained the range between for every single variable, and it has a limit space for every single one of it. So if you have like int, and if you have a if you assign the int to what, to 40,000, right, for the int, right, and then you are going to get like out of bound or something like this, or random number. So I talk about this, so let's jump to the code. So I just create a uh, pretty standard stuff. So I created char C, which is going to be data type, and this is name of the data type. So char, and then this I'm going to assign to A. So since you are using the single character, right, you are going to use a single quotation, which is A. And short is going to be 12. Int is going to be like 342 that I made up randomly. So long could be longer, right? And float and double. So this is going to be pretty much it. So I print out the variable for every single value, right? So so if you notice, let's back to here. So if you notice, formal specify, right? If you want to print out the variable value, you have to use this, and this is also I mean, you have to learn from the C data type library for sure. So again, so you have to use %C for char, %U for short, but shorts can be used in %D as well, right? %D is definitely I, that int. And for the long, it's going to be LD. So don't ask me why it's named LD, just memorize it. And then for the float, it's going to be F. For the double, it's going to be LF, right? So let's just print out this line of code. So I'm going to just comment this out for sure. And then, yes, here we go. So you print out A, you print out 12, you print out 242, and this on, right? So if you notice, I only have what, 123.54 for the floor, right? But it gets what? It gave me like 001 at the end, right? This is because you don't want I mean, it's single precision, right? So you are giving what, the size of the decimal. So if I say .2, so let's see what I get. So if I use .2, right, only two value after the decimal, which is 54, right? So you can actually limit it, right? So for the double, you can also do it as well, but it doesn't matter in this case, right? So now you know how to print a variable out, right? So let's talk about the size of it. Um, so the size of it is going to be what? It's going to be this, right? So if you look at the data type table, I have a memory and a storage size. It's going to be 2 bytes, 4 bytes, and then so on, right? So one byte equal to 8 bits. If you notice, this is really fundamental stuff. So I'm going to print out this, then I'll talk about it later. So size of char, you only need 1 byte. Short 2. Int is bigger than short, which is 4. Float data type is 4 bytes. Long 8, double 8. And there are definitely some other data type for sure, which is pointer, which is short, right? I'm going to explain it later, but in this video, I'm going to just teach you about the fundamental of the data type in C99. And if you notice, I create a function which is in main, right? And at the end, I need to return 0, which is because int main is a function that you need to return. So you have to return something. So you can return what? You can return 1. And this code is still definitely runnable, right? So it's still running. But what happens if you are not returning anything? So when you run the code, you probably will get an error, right? Probably. All right. In this case, it didn't came out because the compiler didn't actually doing a good job for sure. But if you have an int data type, right, you have to return something like this. So I can return I, right? Something like this. Oh, this is I, right? Okay, this is something weird, right? So I can still run the code, and then this is definitely doable, right? So again, so if you have what kind of data type function, you have to return is data type function. So imagine this is char C, right? You want to return C. This is fluctuating. Okay, C, right? So it's still runnable. So it has to be matched. So, but for the common one, I'm going to use int because it is common, and this is return 0. So okay, so this is going to be a wrap up for the video, and I hope you understand. And I will talk about more about C. And just press a like, leave a comment, subscribe if you want it, and I will keep it up and for the posting. So see you later. Bye.